cholesterol, all those things. So you may not be aware that they actually have updated the high blood pressure guidelines. Now, how many people, when you go to your doctor, actually ask them what your blood pressure is? Not just the doctor saying it's good. Actually say, what are my numbers? How many people do that? Great, love y'all. So apparently now, they keep changing, and that's fine. They are saying that you need to have your blood pressure actually less than 120, less than 80. And actually, if you're at 120 over 80, or even between 120 to 130, 129, or 80 to 89, that's now considered pre-hypertension. So yes, the stage before you're declared that you have high blood pressure. So again, when you go, please ask your doctor the number. You don't want to be satisfied with it's good, okay? And then the other thing that I mentioned to my church family several weeks ago was asking your doctor about the test called lipoprotein A. How many people have heard of lipoprotein A? All right, so everybody who was in church that day should have said, raise your hand. So listen, lipoprotein A is a lipid particle, cholesterol. And again, they found that this level, if it's elevated, is actually another risk factor for having heart disease. I'm talking about heart attacks and strokes. So if you have history of heart disease in your family, if you have high blood pressure, if you have high cholesterol, please ask your doctor to check your lipoprotein A. And that's it for me. I'm going to move out the way. So listen, I'm excited about our first speaker. We really have recently become acquainted. She was a friend of a friend, but now I'm going to call her friend. And we work out together. And I know she's the real deal. She's no joke. So I didn't ask her for a bio because I'm going to let her tell you about what she does. But she is going to talk to us today about starting and sustaining an exercise program, okay? So thank you so much. Oh, and then one more thing. Less than 20% of Americans actually stay on target with the recommendations for the amount of exercise you need per week. It's 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise and 2 days a week of strength training. That means lifting something heavier than your body. You can start with body weight training, but you need to be doing 2 days a week of strength training, 150 minutes a week of getting your heart rate up, or you can do 75 minutes a week of high intensity exercise. Okay? So less than 20%. So again, we see the room is empty. And we need to bring more people in to know what they should be doing to care for themselves on a weekly basis. So thank you again for being here. And I'm going to turn the mic over to Ms. Danielle Rutman.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Jolene. My new friend, my new sister friend. I love it. Thank you guys for all being here. As Jolene said, my name is Danielle Rutman. For some of you who don't know who I am a Coatesville resident. I've been living in Coatesville for 22 years now. And for 20 years of those, I've been teaching group fitness at the YMCA. So if you've taken any classes or headed over to the Brandywine YMCA, you've seen me there. I've seen a couple people I know have taken a couple of classes with me as well. So I'm a group fitness instructor. I've been doing fitness my whole entire life. So today we're going to talk about how to get out of your way and stick to a fitness regimen. Because listen, we know life be lifing, and like sometimes it's just hard, right? It's hard to get to and stick to a regimen that you have. And so you might say, well, okay, but what makes you special? Why do you get to teach? Why are you experienced enough to teach this session? And I say this because I'm just like you guys. I work full time. I've got kids. I've got a house. I've got things I'm doing. So there's a whole lot of things in life that makes life chaotic. And as you can see, I mean, it's just chaos. Everything's being thrown at you, whether it's work, whether it's your children's work, trying to be an Uber, trying to get your kids carted around, whether you're a caretaker, taking care of parents, older parents, nieces and nephews, or just being a homemaker. I mean, listen, it takes a long time to clean that house every Saturday or Sunday and get things done. So how do we fit time in to stick to a regimen? Well, in the past, they used to say motivation. You just got to be motivated. You've got to be dedicated. That's all you need. You just need to stick to it. Well, I'm here to tell you that that kind of mindset has changed because that's not it. Motivation is what gets you started, but you need a system and support and a plan to continue. Because listen, I can be motivated to do something every day, but when I get home and sit on that couch things start to change. That motivation goes way down the line, and next thing you know, 3 hours later, So you need something that's going to help you get started. So there's been studies done that say 80% of New Year's resolutions that get started on January 1st end by February 15th. All right, that's because everybody's motivated and we've got some good intentions, but when that cold weather kicks in, the dark nights kick in, we don't want to get to the gym. We don't want to go outside and walk. We need a plan to help keep us going. It also says that 66 is the average number of days to do a habit. Now, there's a lot of books out there that say, 30 days to create a habit. And it can, but it takes a little bit longer for it to really stick. And then even with that, life happens, and even if you're past that 66 days, it's a habit, something may happen, and you may miss out, or you might mess up your routine and then can't get back in. So what do we do? But one of the things that we found is that people are 3 times more active to follow through with their workout if it's scheduled, like a meeting or like a doctor's appointment. So these are the type of systems that we're talking about. So when I say, okay, so you've got to be motivated, you have to be dedicated, you've got to get a system, but where do we start? One of the things is we start by setting that goal, all right? Now listen, we can't just set a goal of, I'm going to be fit by next year, because that means a whole lot. And sometimes when there's a whole lot of things going on, we get overwhelmed and we're like, I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to begin. And then it's like, never mind, I'll do it next time, or I'll do it next year, or the next New Year's I'll start. But if we can start with being, our SMART goal, having something that's specific, that's measurable, that's attainable. Listen, it's got to be realistic, right? And then also has to be time bound. So be specific. If it's something where, I haven't worked out in years, so maybe it's going to be me and my 2 friends are going to try to walk, 3 days a week. Now listen, if we're going to say we're going to walk every morning at 5 a.m., you might want to kind of check yourself and say, is that realistic? Is that attainable? Because everybody's schedules, it may not be attainable, but maybe 3 days a week might get in there. So let's start with something small. Find a small goal. Or if you're a member to a gym, I'm going to try to take these 2 new classes 2 days a week. You want to find something and set it a time frame that's doable. Then you're going to pick a target, a way to track it. Some people use their fitness trackers. They might have a fitness watch. If you've got your Apple Watch, I know that a lot of us are doing those little ring challenges, and I want to make sure all my rings are closed. And if I don't close my ring, then I feel like I didn't, do what I was doing that day. Or it could be just putting on a calendar. I checked off that I worked out yesterday. I checked off that I worked out Wednesday. And I don't know, because if some of you are like me, I like checklists, and if I'm checking things off, then that was a good day. If there are a lot of things that aren't checked, it's like, oops. So find something that you'll be proud of, whether it's checking it off a calendar or putting together a list so that you can see, how many days a week that you've done it. When I talk about being realistic, that's another thing. Let's talk about that. A lot of people say, oh, all the hardcore workers or exercisers work out at 5 a.m. Listen, I don't really like doing 5 a.m. I started doing a 5:45, and that's a struggle. So do something that's going to be realistic, because if you can't, or you have to get kids off to school, maybe the morning's not the time to do the workout. Maybe it's afternoon, or maybe it's at lunchtime or on your lunch break, or maybe it's at night once the kids are off to bed, or whatever it may be. But find that time that's going to be realistic. And then find a time frame, because a lot of times you're going to say, all right, I'm going to do 3 days a week. I'm going to do this every day, or you know what, I'm going to do 4 days a week. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to lift. I'm going to do this. And you make it so big that when you mess up, you feel like you're defeated because you didn't do it. You didn't complete what you're supposed to. Start small. Start a small goal, and then add on. So start a small goal. I'm going to walk 3 days a week, or I'm going to head to the gym 3 days a week. I'm going to do it for 2 months. When that 2 months is up, at the end of that 2 months, look back. Were you able to do all 3 days for that whole 2-month time period? Was it easy? All right, let's try on 4. Let's see if we can do 4 days. Look at that for 2 months. See how that goes. And then slowly build on. Because sometimes when you say, I'm going to do this for a whole year, and then you mess up, now you're frustrated. And you're like, oh, see, I can't stick to my regimen. But you can, all right? But listen, even still, with that SMART goal planned out, there are things that can go wrong, right? So with that, you've got to try to do things to reduce the challenges that might pop up. Because listen, we all know that life happens and you got to be prepared for that. So some of the things we do are schedule it. Like I mentioned, putting it into your calendar. If you work in an office job, sometimes I schedule that in, on my time, my calendar. If I'm going to try to get a lunch in at workout, or a workout during lunch, or a quick walk, I schedule that time so nobody tries to put a meeting, because that's my lunch. I want to schedule it. I try to put it on my home calendar so my kids know, okay, today from this time, mom's unavailable. All right, don't ask me questions, don't ask for my help. I'll see you when I'm done, So try to do it that way, but then also have a plan B. So if you were doing a lunch work or something in the morning, and then for some reason, you get your kids off to school and then you go work out, or I'm going to do a lunch hour workout, and inevitably there's a meeting, there's school's canceled, something happens that you have to change that plan. So when you're scheduling it in, also schedule in an option, right? So if for some reason I can't get this done, when else could I get that in? Because if you have a plan B ready, when something else happens that's going to derail your day, you can find another time to work out and get it in. Create a habit. Sometimes people say, oh, it's too much in the morning, try to gather all my stuff up. Gather it all the night before. Put your keys, right by the door. Put your gym bag right by the door. Some people say, well, you know what, Danielle, I lose it because once I go home, everybody wants me to do something. Well, then try not to go home. Can you pack that gym bag, go right to the gym or right to the park to do your walk before you even go home, because that's when you're going to lose it. Try to figure out a habit that'll make it easy for you. Track that streak, like I mentioned, putting on a calendar, using a tracker or an app on your phone so that you can see your progress and see, man, look, I worked out all these days, and be proud of yourself for that, So you want to be able to do that as well. And then the biggest, this one down here, I should have put a whole slide by itself, is recruiting backup, right? And listen, backup could be, I'm going to go with my friends, I'm going to work out with a group, because I know, and I have a friend who I used to run with, and she knows I don't like mornings, but she would say, let's meet at 4:30 because we got to get it in before we have to be at work. And 4 o'clock, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to roll over. But I knew I can't leave her out there in the dark by herself. So I got to get up because I can't leave my friend out there. So that's a way to make you accountable and keeps you going, having a friend that's there, or a group of friends. Or sometimes it might not even be them joining you, but you say, you know what, Terry, I'm going to start going to the gym 4 days a week, and so, and I'm going to get it in. And then Terry might say, well, Danielle, how was it at the gym this week? Did you get all 4 days? And she's going to ask you, so then you're like, okay, I got to go, because if I don't, now I'm going to have to account for why I didn't go. Now I'm going to have to explain why I didn't go. Well, the couch felt really good, or there was a good movie on, so I didn't go. But if I have to tell somebody, and somebody's going to ask me about it, I'm more likely to do it, because I don't want to let myself down or that other person down to know that they were disappointed in me. So recruiting that backup is huge. It's a huge part of it. So, but even still, with getting all this together, I've got my goals, I've got a plan, I got my backup plan ready, my friends know what I'm doing, everybody's involved and invested in me in doing what I need to do. Life still happens. There's illness, there's family illness, there's taking care of other people. I mean, there's so many things that happen that just can throw you off. And with that, we still have to keep going. And, we may fall down, but we do get up, right? We will get up. And with that in mind, missed days happen. I know in the fitness industry, they talk about don't miss 2 days in a row. Don't miss 2 days, because you're going to fall out of habit if you miss 2 days. But listen, sometimes 2 days, it happens, It's happened to me. I mean, my coach has been calling me for the past 2 weeks, like, girl, where have you been? But I've been traveling, I've had work, and I'm like, listen, I'm working out, I'm still active, I'm just not in the gym. I will be back, and it happens. So when that happens, you have to focus and think about, okay, what caused this? Is it something that I missed or that I might be doing wrong? Or is it really truly that, my mom is sick and I've been in the hospital back and forth to her house for the past 3 weeks and I just can't. I can't get that time in. Then that might be it. And you have to deal with that and you have to live with it. Just give yourself some grace and say, this is a period, this too shall pass. And when I get that time, I can move forward. Or is it focusing on, okay, I'm in this situation, but what can I do? My mom was sick and in the hospital for a while. And when she was there, I would make sure I was taking the stairs up to her 4th floor room. I was taking the steps instead of the elevator because I was sitting all day. Think about things that you could be doing to still stay active, even in the midst of chaos in your life. It may not be the strength development class. It may not be that spin class that you wanted to do. Or it may not be, may not be lifting weights heavy like you normally do, but you're doing something. And something is better than nothing. And that's, the last part is that something is better than nothing. You know what? You only have 10 minutes? Give me that 10 minutes. Hey, maybe you can give me 10 minutes 4 or 5 times during the day. That's better than nothing. And that'll still make you feel good as well. So definitely keep that in mind that, yes, even with a plan of action, you've got a support group, things happen and you move forward. But just be prepared for that. And as long as you're prepared for that, you can get through these times. And if you can't get through it, you just come back. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, listen, I messed up my goals. I'm just going to start again in the fall. It's summer right now. I messed up the first couple of weeks, so I'm just going to wait till summer. No, don't wait till then. Just start right where you are, whether it's that day or tomorrow, one of those days. Don't wait to the end. Just start it right then. So it's always a reset, not a restart. So, being said that all of that, what can you do to start your fitness goal? Because you may be like me, out for 2 weeks, haven't really been working out. It may be that you've already started your fitness journey and you're just trying to figure out how to continue. There's a 7-day starter kit. First up is find that goal. What is that goal that you want to do? Whether you're an avid fitness person and you're at the gym 7 days a week, maybe you just need a little bit more motivation, or maybe this is the time, it's summer, kids are home, you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I reshuffle my day to fit this in? This is the time to do it. Find that specific goal that you're going to do and measure it weekly. Or if you're like, oh, I know I can do a week, so I'm going to measure every 2 months. Measure it. Block your workouts on your calendar. Make sure everybody knows that you are unavailable. This is your time. Lay out your clothes, pack your stuff, have your shoes ready so that in the mornings when you're rushing, and listen, I still remember screaming at my kids like, let's go, I'm gonna be late. And then, so while you're doing that, that's one less thing that you have to worry about because your bag is already ready to go. Even if you have to put it in the trunk of your car the night before to make sure you don't forget it. Tell those 2 people that you're committing to what you're committing to and what you want to do, so that your girlfriends or your friends or your homies can say, hey, how's it going? How are you doing at that? Do you have the motivation? And keep moving forward. And track every section, whether it's in a notebook, a calendar, whatever you need to do, but track it. Trust me, because if you don't track it, it doesn't seem anything. But when you track it and then you go back and look at that calendar and you see how many days a week that you went, how many workouts you got, you're going to feel good about yourself. And then just a 4-week check-in. So whether it's 4 weeks or if you're like, I'm pretty good with fitness, so I'm going to check in maybe every 3 months. Whether I need to reevaluate. Because listen, we all know that we walk early in the morning, okay, you got a crew of people, but when that winter snow comes, the cold comes, you might want to reevaluate because that early morning walk might be like, So you might have to reevaluate. Okay, it's getting cold outside. Where am I going to go? Well, maybe I'm going to go inside on the treadmill, or maybe we're going to go walk the mall instead, or something like that. So just make sure that you have that plan, because motivation and dedication are not going to get you there. So, any questions from anybody about starting their fitness regimen? Awesome. Well, I'm excited. Well, I'm excited for all you guys and recruit your friends, recruit your family to keep you going strong. And I know Dr. J over here keeps me motivated in the morning as well. Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. If you have any questions, I'll be around for a little bit.
Thank you so much. Like I said, she's the real deal. She's in there picking up 50, 40 pounds, 50 pounds. So I look at her. So we're going to go ahead and switch gears a little bit. We're going to now talk about our mental health. And so I have Dr. Todd Henley, who is our owner of Restore Counseling Center. He's going to be sharing with us today. And we are going to have a giveaway at the end of his session, so hang around. So make sure you're paying good attention to what they're saying to you.
Thank you. Danielle, where are you? Excellent. Thank you. That was awesome. That was awesome. And Dr. J, can you also help my son pass out those? Great. I remember a few weeks ago, I was speaking at a conference. It was a week conference. I was excited about it. And the middle of the conference was Wednesday. And on Wednesday, there were like 25 options that people had, things that you could do. Now, I grew up in the city of Philadelphia, and I love the city. That's why I live in Coatesville. But in the city, there are no rivers. Yeah, there are no streams. And so one of the options that I had at this retreat was to go tubing. So I decided, okay, great. I'm going to go tubing with all these adults. But we had a guide. And I'm thinking, why do we need a guide to go tubing? So we're halfway through this, and all of a sudden the guy said, everyone out the water. So we all got out of the water, and he said, everyone look down. And we looked down, and I said, oh, my goodness, now I see why we need a guide. It was very furious rapids. JT, may I have one, please? And so the guide said, as you're going down these rapids, 3 things that you need to keep in mind. Rule number 1, as you're going down the rapids, do not let go of your tube. Rule number 2, if you fall off your tube, do not let go of the tube. And rule number 3, the most important rule, do not let go of your tube. And so people are on their tube and they're going down the rapids. A guy named Danny gets on his tube, he goes down, he loses his tube in the midst of the rapids. Jenna goes down, she loses her tube in the midst of the rapids. And I'm thinking, man, I wonder what's going on with them. So I place my tube right there on the edge, and I jump on my tube, and the tube goes from under me, and it's in midair, and it clicks in my head, don't let go of your tube. So I dove in after my tube. I'm in midair, and I'm thinking, Todd, you are stupid. I hit the water, and I found out why he said don't let go of your tube. Because rocks were just cutting away at my body. So I'm tumbling down. When I get to the bottom, Danny, Jenna, they're standing there, and I'm standing there, and we're just stick. All these paper cuts all over our body. An adult comes over to me, and he says, Todd, are you okay? So I responded, oh, yeah, I'm fine. In fact, every time I go swimming, I always bleed like this. Yeah. Later on that evening, there were 3 people who did not go on a hayride. as we are standing there, I'm thinking, whoa, how many times in life do we go through the rocky waters of life and we get cut up? We get cut up emotionally, sexually, physically, and mentally. This is what I want to talk about for the next few moments. Why mental health is so important. Because when we get cut up in those ways, it does so much damage. I'm the executive director of Restore Counseling Center, and we tend to deal with like very severe trauma that messes up the brain and nervous system. Yeah, sexual abuse, rape, molestation, adultery, pornography, domestic abuse. I mean, stuff that really messes a person up. We deal with very severe trauma. And so what I want to talk to you about here is understanding why. Why counseling is so important here. And I'll make sure, I guess that's not working for me, but that's okay. We'll just do that. Okay. I was walking by F&M College, just doing a walk, and I saw this tree. I thought, whoa, that's amazing. This tree was coming out of the ground. And now, I'm sure by now they got rid of that tree. Many times in life, when we have struggles, we have difficulties, we grow up in a home that may be too hard or maybe too painful, or parents may provide lots of love, but sometimes not a lot of emotional connection. And all of our issues will eventually come out. And just like this tree, when hard times come, our issues come out. This is why mental health is so important. I was speaking at Howard University about racial trauma. The thing about racial trauma is it could happen in 1906, and that person who went through it will pass down that pain to his or her children, and then they will pass down their pain to his or her children, and so forth. So if anyone in your family has ever had trauma, it's been passed down to us, unless we have dealt with it and healed from it. So I want to ask you this question. Just like with the tubing illustration, we all get cut up in life. We all have emotional pain. That it's part of life. But have we healed from it? So here are some signs you may benefit from counseling. Here are some signs that can help you to benefit from counseling. Persistent feelings of sadness or anxiety. You have persistent feelings of sadness or anxiety. Now, for someone who's religious, sometimes we say, which is true, people may say God is good, and then God is good all the time. Now, let me tell you something about that. We can talk about God and still avoid the real issues in life. Yeah, because we can say, I'm going through so much pain, but if I just say God is good, who's going to argue with that, right? Yeah, right? Yeah. So it's important to deal with the issues. So if there's persistent feelings of sadness or feeling emotionally overwhelmed, if you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed, this is going on inside. Or you have beautiful leaves, but like this one, right at our counseling center, something has eaten this away. Yeah, and you feel inside like you're being eaten away. Could be a boss, could be a family member, or maybe those family outings. But those are signs that difficult sleeping, frequent fatigue. If we have anxiety, depression, irritable bowel syndrome, autoimmune disease, things like that just don't happen. They just don't happen. There may be some issues that we need to take care of. experiencing unresolved trauma. Yeah. So just signs. And come on. I mean, we all know the issues that we might struggle with. So these are good signs that we may need some, or most likely need some counseling. How can counseling, how can it help? You know, when we think about butterflies, here's the amazing thing about butterflies. They don't start out as butterflies. They start out as caterpillars. Yeah, And they go into a cocoon, and it's very interesting. As when it's time to become a beautiful butterfly, they start coming out of that cocoon. If you've ever seen a butterfly trying to come out of a cocoon, you hear some real weird noises, scary noises. And if you say, man, he's really struggling, I'm going to help him. If you try and help him, he's going to eventually die. Because that struggle to come out of that cocoon helps his wings to become stronger. That's what counseling does. It helps us to become stronger emotionally and mentally. That is so important. Counseling is like a flower that's always watered. That instead of getting angry, instead of yelling, because sometimes when we don't deal with our issues, because we've been cut up, we know the anger is there. We know the pain is there. And counseling, it helps you to deal with it. It helps you to deal with the issues. And you sit down and you talk with someone who cares about you. And there's so many good counseling places, even in our area. Downingtown, Parksburg, Coatesville. Yeah, great places. But it helps you to deal with the issues that are going on deep down inside. Before I go on, any questions at all that you might have? Okay? Good. Great. So I want to make sure I keep you awake. All right, this is good. You guys are doing good staying awake. Okay. Turn on the back there. Counseling and goal achievement. This is how therapy can help you. You know, as we think about life, I mean, we all love leaves, but very rarely do we look at them maybe in the summertime or the spring and say, oh, man, that's a beautiful leaf. But in the fall, yeah, man, it's beautiful. But you got to go through winter, got to go through spring, got to go through summer, fall. Beautiful waterfalls. See, that's what counseling can do. It can transform us to help us to become very beautiful people. How? Number one, grow and develop emotionally. Some of the times we say, this is just the way I am. Yeah, you got to tell it like it is. I mean, I don't know how to relate well to people. I don't know how to be kind. I don't know how to be, I struggle with patience. So sometimes that's what that means. That person said that to me, I'm going to strike back. So sometimes that's what that means. I don't really say I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes that's what I mean. But in counseling, it helps you to grow and develop emotionally. Like my son here, all my children know, hey, if you're interested in someone, number one thing I want to know is, how are they emotionally? How are they spiritually? How are they? What I mean by that is, how do they relate in relationships? What do they do when they get upset or angry, which they will? Okay, yeah, what do they do? Silent treatment? They yell, they walk away, they stomp. Everybody does something when you're angry because you get angry. Counseling helps us to grow emotionally. That is so important. 2, clarify personal, relational, spiritual, and professional goals. 3, identify obstacles that may be preventing progress. It helps you to prevent, an obstacle might be a spouse, might be yourself, might be your parent, but preventing the obstacles. Develop practical strategies for overcoming challenges. That is so huge in counseling. And so it helps you to create healthier ways. Because this is how we want to look. We want to look, excuse me. Man, that water is good. Water is good. My goodness. I'm going to speak here more often. Sorry about that. But this is how we want our life to be. We want it to flow beautifully. We want it to look attractive. Counseling will deal with those issues that we avoid. Counseling will help us to stop pretending to be what we are not. Okay. So, last slide. Counseling is a wise investment in yourself. Yeah, it's a very wise investment, especially in your marriage, in your family. It's an extremely because you're growing emotionally. You're dealing with the issues that you're facing. It helps you to heal from the past. Even if you say, there's not much I need to heal from, or I'm fine, or I don't need help. Yes, it will help you to heal from the past. Also, navigate the present. Whatever struggles or issues that you're going through. And it will help you to move confidently toward the future. So, you, me, people that you know, I want to encourage you. I mean, there's all types of stuff, even right here, that you can go to get help. But we all need help. Even a guy who's a counselor gets counseling. Yeah, because I know the issues. Yeah, that's important. And you guys are clapping because you're thinking, yeah, he definitely needs counseling the way he looks. Yeah. So, hey, thank you. Thank you for being honest, all right? Yeah. So we want to encourage you to really think about how you can get help or encourage someone else to get help. Questions or that you have? Any questions? Okay. Don't want to wake anyone up, though. Okay, great. We're all yours.
Thank you so much. That was great. All right, so we got a few people around. I'm going to have my assistant, my reluctant assistant, out. Pins too. So we got two questions. So the first question from the first discussion, if you can name one, this is on your index card, and Chloe, they're going to need pins too. Name one of the SMART goals, right? SMART goals. You remember that? Yes, ma'am. And then you have to write your name on the sheet. Make sure you write your name on the index card. Write your name on the index card. And question number one is, name one part of the SMART goals. And then the second question, everyone should get right. Tell me when you're ready for the second question. First question is, name one of the SMART goals when it comes to starting your exercise program. SMART goals, SMART goals. And question number two. Just give one sign that you may benefit from counseling. And everyone should get that right, because he prepared us with a nice handout. When you're ready, we're going to collect them. My lovely assistant. Yeah, so question number one, it's a SMART goal. You need a card? One of the SMART goals to starting an exercise regimen. And number two is one sign that you may benefit from mental health counseling. So while you all are doing that, I just want to give you a rundown of the rest of the quick morning. So at about 11:10, we have the Greater Brandywine YMCA Fit Truck out in the lot, which is to my left, and they will be out there. The Fit Truck. They will have a strength training session. That truck is equipped with a lot of equipment for doing strength exercises. So they're going to lead us in a strength session. And then after that, Ella Williams is going to do Zumba. That is going to be on the 4th floor of this building. And then if there are some people still hanging around and feel like cutting the rug, we're going to do a couple of our favorite line dances. Have a little dance party at the end, tie it all up. Okay? Does anyone have their index card ready for Chloe to collect it? And again, so grateful. Thank you so much. Again, that was great. PK, did you want to say something? Yo, please do. I mean, and I'm just trying to figure out the timing. Like, when do we reach the people? This is our conversation that we have when we're walking. When do we reach people? It's 8:30, too early for people to walk, so people aren't here because it's too early. Like, I don't know. Like, is it the time of the year? Is it? Yeah. Well, we'll keep trying to sneak it in. Is what we'll do. We'll keep trying to sneak it in. Assistant, can you please help me pick one or two? I need two. Thank you. She's my reluctant assistant here, as you can see. That's my baby girl. Got two? All right, let's see. What we got? All right, let's see if they got the question right. This is Judith. So, set realistic goals. That is correct. That's one of the SMART goals. And number 2, growth and developing emotionally. I might have to. So the question number 2 was signs that you may benefit from counseling. So you actually gave me a benefit of counseling. Should we let her slide? Okay, we'll let her slide. Judith, where are you? Who said no? She's and this is, and then number 2 that my assistant selected was my Miss Roberta. So number 1, measurable, that is one of the SMART goals. And you also, so maybe I didn't phrase the question right. Was my question not phrased properly? So she also gave a benefit. And so my question was a sign that you may benefit from counseling. So maybe I didn't communicate properly. It said, so maybe I need counseling to learn how to communicate properly. Thank you. Yes. Oh, I'm still in the wrong place. Okay, so are we letting them slide? Or are we picking 2 more? You said no? Okay, they said 2 more. All right. Yes. Y'all tough crowd. I'm trying to stay right over here. Sorry. I'm out of line. So how about that? Well, I got to make sure she did it right. Come on, bring it to me. So time-based was the answer, and feeling emotionally overwhelmed. All right, and then so that is correct. And then Sis Moonbay is, I don't think that's correct to a SMART goal. All right, we keep them going, but your second one was right. If you are angry. All right, I got to pick one more. Okay, come on, hurry up. Oh, no, keep going. One more. Oh, somebody. Oh, yep, there we go. Oh. Yes, all right. Okay, we got our 2 winners in. Give me the water bottles. All right, so my second one, so Sister Shadell, come on down, get your water bottle. And then Darlene, who's Darlene? I don't know Darlene, there she is. Come on down. You can bring it to her. Oh, sorry, so you heard Sister Shadell's, and then Darlene said that measurable was one of the SMART goals, and if you're angry or you have anxiety or always angry, you can't sleep, are signs that you may benefit from counseling. Thank you so much for your participation. Before you all leave here, please go back and visit the vendors who have taken the time out to bring you information. We are so excited for them to be here. Again, I appreciate you being here, and next year, spread the word, tell your friends, bring them, okay? Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the time here. Oh, yes.